Hey, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. I'm Magister Wilbur here. Today's news. Nintendo's actually going to announce something. PlayStation has the audacity to raise their prices, and more handhelds are coming out. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 1,000. Now let's talk about the tech news. With all the Nintendo leaks that have occurred, it's nice to get confirmation of some actual news. Tomorrow, August 31st, there's going to be a Nintendo Direct on Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time, and it will only be focused on that one game. It's going to be about 15 minutes long. Given that they'll probably show a trailer, about 3 minutes, the rest is going to be hopefully actual gameplay. Many are hoping that they're going to talk about some online features, especially online co-op, because who actually does local co-op anymore? Who invites their friends over to sit down and play some games? It just isn't the same as it used to be. Or maybe I'm just an old man that has no friends. Probably the last one right there. But I know I rely on online co-op, so I hope they do talk about that. There's also speculation that they're going to talk about why they have in-game purchases as a part of, their rating. Most people feel that it's not going to be microtransactions, but more like downloadable content, which they're just preparing for, rather than it coming back later and having to go through the rating process again. It's probably going to be like, say, Mario Kart, where you get the downloadable content, it opens like another area, just more gameplay. It's not going to be, hey, buy this pack for power-ups. Hopefully it's not going to be that, and typically Nintendo doesn't really do that. So most people don't think it's going to be microtransactions like, say, other games. But who knows? Who really knows? I think that they're going to keep with the DLCs because they want people to sign up for Nintendo Online, which is their subscription service, which it's probably the worst subscription service out there for online play. So the more DLCs they can get, they're going to try to get that recurring revenue. And it's not surprising that they're going to do a Direct on Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It looks like it's going to be the game of the holiday season for 2023. And this leaves people wondering, well, are they going to have another Direct by the end of the year? Are they going to have a Direct that goes over the full spectrum of games and hardware that could possibly be, where we finally get some actual information on the next system? Sea of Stars is a hit. It announced on Twitter X that it got 100,000 sales in the first day. This is coming off some pretty good reviews. Incredibly solid. 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s across the board on all systems. These numbers also are only Switch and Steam sales. It does not include any players that downloaded through Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, which is probably a lot more, because I know once I saw the reviews, saw the numbers, how much everyone enjoyed it, I downloaded it immediately on Game Pass. Now, this is a very interesting situation because many people feel that it wouldn't be doing as well if it just came out on Steam and Switch. That would just be a small indie game. But because it came out day one on PlayStation and Game Pass, that has really elevated, the usage of the game. Especially since we're coming up on some very big releases, it might have been tossed to the wayside or something that people got into a little later on. And so I'm happy playing it. It's a cool throwback RPG. I definitely suggest check it out if you do have one of the streaming services. You can get a little too much into it that you're like, oh, that's why this is really good. It is easy gameplay. It's not overcomplicated. I really enjoy playing it. I hope you do too. On to some sad news. Sony is raising the prices on all tiers of PlayStation Plus subscriptions. The Essential tier is going from $60 to $80. The Extra tier is going from $100 to $135. And the Plus tier is going up from $120 to $160 per year. This is coming after Xbox raised the Xbox Game Pass subscriptions previously this year. And quite frankly, this is just showing what our all-digital future is going to look like. When people become more reliant on these subscriptions, we're going to see more price hikes. There's going to be just the general raise in price due to interest, and then the raise in price due to more people using the systems and taxing the hardware. So this is something we're going to have to get used to. It's going the way of video streaming and Hulu and Netflix and all that. Games will probably not be cheap for much longer. If you rely on Eurogamer to get your game reviews, you're going to have to wait just a little bit longer when it comes to Starfield. In a post, Eurogamer stated that they did not receive any pre-release copies or review copies for Starfield for their main site. They did receive one copy to be used with their Digital Foundry, and only for their Digital Foundry. In this announcement, they stated that their review would be taking longer because they need quite a bit of time to give this game a full review, and that's very understandable considering the scope of Starfield. But this is a bigger problem. Now, many places who do reviews, many sites, many YouTube channels, don't typically get a pre-release of the game. But when you are one of these larger sites that relies on day one reviews, it's money in the bank. And if you're just a little bit late, the reduction on how many people click on that review goes down by a lot. And so this is kind of how game companies and tech companies have a stranglehold on reviewers. You have to worry about whether if you give a negative review, you might not get a pre-release sample, which means you're going to lose money a little bit later on. You have to worry about if you say give a negative review, that they will just give it only to a reviewer that's been typically positive. You actually see that a lot with companies like Apple. They do not allow for pre-release reviews of many of their products to many YouTubers that dare question how great their product is. They are notorious and they're pretty large about it. You see this with Nintendo partnership plans, how they remove people from it and then they don't get pre-release copies of various games to review. It's really kind of going to be a stranglehold as more and more outlets start reviewing games. It has grown quite a bit in recent years, and it makes me kind of glad that I don't rely on that. I have never gotten anything for pre-release, and I'd be incredibly happy and shocked if I ever did. Just throwing that out there. But you do need to think about that when you're seeing a review and start to have that little brain itch, like, well, why did this person get it before these other people? So just something to think about when you're looking at these reviews and how it's played. I will probably be playing Starfield when it comes out September 5th on Game Pass. Now for the most serious news of the day. iFixit wants to fix McDonald's. Finally. But more specifically, they want to fix their ice cream machines. It is very well known that McDonald's ice cream machines are always broken and down. And there was a documentary recently that pointed out that it is quite complicated to fix their ice cream machines. iFixit, in a YouTube video, went through the process of how to fix one of these ice cream machines and how it actually breaks down most of the time. And it's due to the fact that the machine overheats while in use, making pretty bad ice cream. I'm pretty sure ice cream is supposed to be cold. They are manufactured by a company called Taylor, and Taylor is the only one that provides the company with their ice cream machines. It's also the only one contracted to fix the machines. The contracts for the repairs actually make up a large portion of the revenue that Taylor receives during the year. iFixit would like to create manuals, code readers, and repair parts for these ice cream machines. Just recently, there was a code reader that was made by the community because they wanted McDonald's ice cream, and it was not put in use by the franchises because McDonald's said not to. They have a contract. What iFixit is planning to do is to go in front of Congress and petition for all these machines, all commercial and industrial machines, to not fall under this DCMA and be allowed to be repaired and taken apart and just be used by general repair technicians. I do hope that they get this done. It's a process that happens every 3 years, and if they're able to get the precedent, like, oh, McDonald's ice creams, like, that's essential to their business and that they spend all this money for it, it should be able to be repaired by anyone that can do it. Well, that precedent could be moved over to larger things like John Deere tractors. Most of the people that are coming up with the solutions right now are not hackers. They are not bad agents. They're just people who need to repair the equipment in a timely fashion and cannot wait for these lone repair companies to come in at an expensive cost. So this is shockingly a huge thing in the right to repair movement, and I do hope that iFixit wins. And now for the stupidest news of the day, Meta has legs. No longer in Meta will you have to rely on Mii's from the Wii U console era. This comes 10 months after CEO Mark Zuckerberg stated at a conference that they were coming. It's only for VR beta testers right now, and more information should come out at the conference on September 27th. And it's been such a trouble for Meta to create these legs and their natural movement due to the fact that the cameras are on a headset and have trouble seeing how the legs are moving. Apparently this was the most requested feature, and I just still think this is the stupidest news of today. Xbox is making a play for Japanese gamers. It is widely known that Xbox is not the most popular gaming console in Japan. Into better relations with gaming companies and gaming consumers in Japan, Xbox has hired Mena Sadakato, former Sony VP of Mobile Businesses, as their director for partnerships in Japan. It is clear that they're trying to send a strong message to the Japanese market that they are ready to play with the big boys. This comes ahead of the Tokyo Game Show in September. Hopefully they will be able to work out some deals that they can maybe even get better marketing or just exclusive games from various Japanese game producers. Only time will tell, and we will see. Will Xbox ever make their own handheld console? It is clear that handheld consoles are on the rise, but it doesn't look like Xbox is going to jump in anytime soon. But this question is being asked because the Legion Go, in their new leaked marketing, relied heavily on Xbox games and Xbox Game Pass. And quite frankly, what I want Xbox to do in the handheld gaming console market is to do what they did when they first made the first Xbox. I want them to focus on the software. I want them to take the Windows kernel, what it is now, and scale it down like they did with the first Xbox. I want them to remove all the bloat that does not run games. I do not want any extra stuff in it. I think this would be a great focus for Xbox as of right now. They do not need their own handheld gaming console, and this question is coming up because there are so many Windows-based gaming consoles that are handheld coming out, and also that Phil Spencer at Gamescom stated that his ROG Ally, I don't know why people keep calling it ROG these days, when did we make that switch, as his own portable Xbox. So, while I'm sure that Microsoft would like to make their own hardware when it comes to all Xbox things, but after what Microsoft has done with the Surface line, I don't think it's the best option as yet. I do not know how much autonomy Xbox has when it comes to making all their hardware. It has been drastically different than any PC that's being built, but when they finally get into what is basically a portable gaming PC, will the Windows division let them do what they basically pirated when they first made the Xbox and come up with a product that is fully Microsoft? Tell me what you think. Do you think that they should get in the handheld console market? Do you think that I'm all over the place with here? Do you think that they'll ever actually figure out how to scale down Windows so it works great on a smaller device? Tell me in the comments. Sticking with handhelds, Aya Neo is releasing a new one next week. It's going to be called the Kun. It's going to start at $999. It will feature an 8.4-inch 1600p IPS display. It will have Ryzen 7 7840U processor with up to 54 WTDP. It will feature 512 gigabytes storage, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a battery that can last up to 3 hours on the base model. It's supposed to be fully integrated with Windows 11, even including Windows Hello. While Aya Neo is using Windows Hello, it's time for me to say goodbye. If you like this video, hit that button. If you dislike this video, hit that down button, smash the subscribe, and as always, you've made it to the end. You're the most beautiful and intelligent person ever. We love you over here. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.